Hey everyone, this is, as I said before, intended to be a short live stream, but a live stream with a very special purpose, and that is to announce a fun day, which technically is today, as it is 1:31 in the east, which makes it 10:31 in the west. But I'm very proud to announce that at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is 7 o'clock in the East, I will have as my guest here on Zennie62 Live, Francesca Zappitelli, star of World Wrestling Entertainment and a woman wrestler, talking about her new movie entitled Ballerina, I Am Not. And we're going to talk about really is a cool documentary that introduces what she has had to go through to become a WWE star, and presents us with if you like, a history of strong women in entertainment, starting with Mildred Burke and ending with Miss Zappetelli. Really excited to have her on Skype video, 4 o'clock Pacific, which is 7 o'clock Eastern. And then at 8 o'clock Pacific. So you have 4 o'clock, and then 4 hours later, 8 o'clock, which is 7 o'clock, 4 hours later, 11 o'clock. The NFL's first female head coach, Dr. Jen Welter. Really excited to, as I say, I don't know where the red letter day came from. Would that come from the war effort, I guess? But it's definitely a red letter day in the history of Zennie62 media to have two female heroines of entertainment and sports on one day. And it's just the shape of things to come in Zennie62. And wow. So you might be wondering, Zennie, what's the fuss with Miss Zappetelli? And I'll tell you what the fuss is, okay? And I'm going to, as I take this and put this on Twitter and then Facebook, I'll tell you what the fuss is or should be. And I'm going to put it on Facebook too. As I say, first of all, Francesca Zappitelli. I said it's Francesca Zappitelli. It is a beautiful Italian name for a beautiful Italian woman. But Francesca Zappitelli, if you had to give a background of her, would go something like this, okay? If you take a look at Francesca Zappitelli on her IMDb page, and you're saying, what is IMDb? She was born on IMDb is the International Movie Database. Francesca Zappitelli was born December 6th, 1981. December 6th, 1981 in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. She's Canadian. She is an actress and a producer of Life of Crime, Ballerina I Am Not, and Masterminds. And she has the full bio here. And the full bio reads, well, as I said it. And she is 5'6" and strong, because she's known for being in the WWE. And she has her filmography listed here of a number of different appearances she's made and films that she's done. And there's a lot of interesting titles. I mean, there's Adrenaline Lust, and I mean, obviously she has taken an interesting turn to achieve in her life, to achieve what she's wanted to achieve. And her titles are interesting right up until the point where she makes Miss March Fake It Till You Make It, Los Crazy Killers, Frankie, which is a short, The Jed Grace Show, and Spreading Darkness. And this is as an actress. As a producer, she has some really fascinating credits. In fact, she's produced a lot of her own work in 2003. But the ones that she's working on right now, and the one we're going to talk about, is Ballerina. Ballerina, I Am Not. Ballerina, I Am Not. And this is interesting. If you Google her name, you're going to find out some interesting stuff. So I suggest you give a little Google to her name and, you know, have fun reading, basically. So have fun reading. And she talks about Ballerina, I Am Not. Francesca Zappitelli discusses her career and new projects. And she describes herself as not your typical girl next door. And says she's a lot of things. She's a talented actress, a filmmaker, producer, and an accomplished fighter. And an unquenchable thirst for knowledge took her on an incredible journey around the world. One thing she is not is your typical young gal or typical girl next door. Her natural athleticism and passion for acting and traveling led her to the University of Professional Wrestling, which launched her career in wrestling and fighting. Although she was heavily trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and the acting element of her wrestling career soon became, as she put it, basically her true love. So, and this is a great interview on her. And she grew up, she loved one of my favorite female bodybuilders, Rachel McGlish. And she grew up watching Wonder Woman and the Bionic Woman. So she's spent a life forming herself into the strong woman that she is today. It's going to be a lot of fun. She says, what has been her biggest challenge up to that point? And she says, sometimes you have these dreams, but have no idea what's going to take to make everything happen. And she says it was the same thing that happened when she walked in the door of the fighting world as it did for filmmaking. Quite interesting. So then we come to the fantastic Dr., as I call her, Dr. Jen. That's right, Dr. Jen Welter. And Dr. Jen, born just a few years earlier, she's born October 27th, 1977, and in Vero Beach, Florida. Vero Beach, Florida. And she is described as an American football player and coach who coached inside linebackers. Think about that. She coached inside linebackers for the National Football League's Arizona Cardinals during the training camp and the 2015 preseason. The signing with the Arizona Cardinals made her the first female coach in the National Football League. And this is her third first for men's football in 2014 and 2015. And she was named Champions Indoor Football's Texas Revolution's linebackers and special teams coach in February of 2015. And that was, she became the first woman to coach in a man's professional league. And prior to that, she was a running back for the same team. She signed with them on January 24th as well. So with the Arizona Cardinals, she was an assistant coaching intern and became the first, female coach in the NFL. And her internship with the Cardinals expired after the team's third preseason game. And according to a number of accounts, her coaching style, was not completely different from anyone else's. And so the Arizona Cardinals entered the 2015-2016 NFL season with a record of 3-0. And the Washington Post recently asked that the biggest question coming was, what would guys in the NFL respond to a woman coaching them? And the average answer was yes. And now the San Francisco 49ers have a coach as well. And hopefully this is one aspect of the game, having a woman assistant coach or head coach, that will become commonplace within a decade. It should. It really should. But she has a book out now, and Dr. Jen. And the book has a fascinating title, and it's called basically Play Big: Lessons in Being Limitless from the First Woman to Coach in the National Football League. So that's what we're going to talk about. Her great book, Play Big: Lessons in Being Limitless from the First Woman Coach to Play in the NFL. And basically the description of the book goes like this. When Jen, or as I call her, Dr. Jen, so I'm going to say, when Dr. Jen became a linebackers coach for the Arizona Cardinals in 2015, she was the first woman to ever break the glass ceiling of the National Football League. In Play Big, Welter reveals the grit that it took to become a trailblazer in the ultimate boys club. Pre-NFL, Welter was an undrafted, underestimated athlete who made sacrifice after sacrifice to achieve her football dreams, rising to the top of women's professional football leagues and women's football leagues, and eventually daring to play against men twice her size. Play Big lays out how she succeeds despite the odds, through force of will and determination, revealing the wisdom Welter gained over countless setbacks and challenges. With vivid wit and candor, Play Big will coach you to do the same, whatever your obstacles might be, while translating Welter's hard-earned advice for cultivating true perseverance and toughness. So, remember, 4 o'clock for Francesca, 4 o'clock Pacific, and then 8 o'clock, 4 o'clock Pacific, and then 8 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Pacific for Dr. Jen later today. And that's the announcement. So, okay, and thank you for tuning in, and please spread the word. See you back here first at 4 o'clock Pacific and later today, and then 8 o'clock Pacific later today. All right, see ya.